The first lightning talk is from Kathryn and Jorge. Thank you.
Hi, Nanog. I'm Kathryn Basinsky. I am a telecommunications policy specialist with the National Telecommunications and Information Administration, NTIA. We are a small agency in the United States Department of Commerce, and we are thrilled to be here today talking to all of you. NTIA is the President's principal advisor on telecommunications and information policy issues. We are not a regulator. But some things you might know us from are the 2018 botnet report, as well as some of the initial software bill of materials SBOM work. And now it's my pleasure to turn it over to my colleague, Jorge, and he's going to announce a new initiative that we are launching on data centers.
Thank you, Kathryn, and good afternoon, everyone. So yeah, like Kathryn mentioned, NTIA has been tracking data centers for quite a while now. Back in September last year, we put out a request for comment, which is basically a mechanism for us to receive input from industry regarding how to bolster data center growth, resilience, security in the United States. We received about 60 responses from a whole diverse set of stakeholders, from hyperscalers to on-prem to co-locators. And most of the responses were around 6 main topics. Access to power was the main one by far. It was the main one that it was raised across the board. Huge pressing issue for the industry. Energy infrastructure, also kind of related, but how is the grid going to keep up and be able to connect from the utility to the data center? That was another issue that came up. Supply chain was another issue that came across the board, especially shortages when it comes to obviously GPUs, generators, transformers, aluminum, steel, copper, and other materials. Permitting was another prevalent issue that came up as well. How can we expedite permitting so it doesn't take years to connect to the utility or to process permitting for small modular reactors, for example. So we're looking at that as well closely. Security came up as well, importantly, both physical in terms of access controls to the data center and cybersecurity as well, best practices, frameworks, standards, etc. And then one common thing across tech, I would say, is workforce. We got quite a bit of input on workforce. How can we sort of create a pipeline of workers that can help move the industry forward? Different strategies, collaborating with community colleges to develop curriculums, etc. So compiling all this input and considering that this was in September of 2024, we've had a new administration, new policies, and new shifts on paradigms. I think the keynote speaker talked about DeepSeek and how that was a bit of a shift in paradigm. And so we just kind of want to know the latest and greatest on what's going on in this space. So the idea is to put together a listening session. It's going to be a public event, completely virtual, free, open to everybody on July 22nd, 10 to 12 Eastern time. And the idea is to have as many stakeholders as possible talk to us about how can we bolster data center growth, resilience, security in the United States. The ultimate output of this process is to come out with a report that we will put out there with the public report. We will provide sort of recommendations and best practices as to how can we help the industry move forward. You can find the information on our website, ntia.gov. And then we have an email as well, datacenters@ntia.gov. If you want to email us, Kathryn and I will be in the beer and gear. Please grab us if you have questions. We'll love to talk with you, and hopefully we'll see most of you, all of you, in the listening session. Thank you for the opportunity.
Anyone have any questions?
Hello, I've got one online question for Kathryn and Jorge from NTIA. John Carson, unaffiliated, asks if you are working with FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, on the data center effect on the U.S. electric grid, regional, state, and local?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, the answer is yes. We receive questions regarding FERC when it comes to permitting. And I forgot to mention during my brief presentation that we are co-issuing the request for comments that we put out in September 2024. It was co-issued with the Department of Energy. So we're working closely with DRE colleagues to make sure that we address all the energy-related questions. Thanks, over.
Okay, sounds like we're done with the questions. So thank you again, Kathryn, Jorge.